G'day Argy crew, hope you're having a fantastic day today and your family's happy and healthy. I just recently did a video on physics in ATS, American Truck Simulator, and whether or not the physics mods were worth it. You can check that video out. I'll leave a little note up in the corner there or link, whatever you want to call it, so you can have a look at that. And it got me thinking that maybe I should check out the physics in ETS2 as well also. And what I've done is I'm going to start the video. We're going to have to get going soon because I'm holding up traffic with the default settings, no physics mods at all, and like I say, completely default. Let's quickly have a look and I'll show you. Oh, before we do, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps me out with YouTube tremendously and I really would appreciate it. If you like the video at the end, give me the thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Let me know what you thought, and that way I might be able to improve whatever I do. And if there's anybody else that you know that might benefit from this video, please share it with them. Also, there's links to the VTC in the description. There's also links to my how-to video playlist. So if there's anything you see in this video that you want to know how to use it, it'll probably be in that playlist with that link, and you can check it out there. All right, so the settings that we've got this on. Where are we here? Options and gameplay. So the settings, as you can see here, are all default. So truck stability, cabin suspension, suspension stiffness, drive shaft torque, braking intensity. Oh, one thing I've got to change is the trailer stability. So they're all on default. Okay, no mods added. Completely default settings for your physics. And let's take a look at how the truck behaves and trailer. So we've got about 20 ton, I think it is, on the back, 1920 ton of concrete edging or centering or something they call it. And we'll see exactly, I'm just going to turn this volume down a bit so I can hear myself talk, how the truck behaves. Now, as you can see, as we swerve from side to side, there's not very much movement in the truck at all. In fact, it's completely planted. And that's not how a truck behaves in real life. When you're turning this sharp, like I'm doing now, you get a lot of body roll, you get a lot of cabin movement because of the suspension in the cabin. Now what I'll do is I'll jump inside the cab and let you have a look inside. Again, very little movement, and with these sharp movements you would expect a lot more movement in the cab. Also, you'd expect the trailer to misbehave and try to flip, and it's not doing any of that. And as you can see, very little of any movement at all. Let's go through this checkpoint. One of the things I hate about ETS2 is the checkpoints. There's that many of them. Oh geez. You're gonna let me through. Thanks, mate. Didn't have to. Good on you.
Keep right.
So yes, as you can see, very little movement, very little sway, very unrealistic in the default settings. So now what we'll do is we'll jump into the settings and set them to what I prefer. And again, this is my choice of settings. It doesn't have to be yours. You can tweak them to what you think is right for you. And I normally start at about 60% truck stability, about 25% in cabin suspension, about 30% on the suspension stiffness, drive shaft torque I normally put on 80, and brake intensity I put on about 85. Get it there. And excuse me, trailer stability I put on about 50. All right, so now this is, again, no mods, but at the settings that I prefer. All right, so let's have a look. Now, if you watch when we take off, you will notice that we'll get a bit of cabin lift. Okay, a little bit. It's probably because I'm on downhill, there's not much torque. Because the truck was already rolling. Let's get on a flat surface and I'll show you what I mean around here. Alright, we'll stop here. Actually, when we hit the brakes, you can see the cabin move there. Let's zoom in a bit further so you can see it. Alright, and I'm going to flatten the accelerator because that's where you'll see the most movement. And that's what I was doing with the other tests we just did on all default settings. Alright, here we go. You see how you've got movement in the cab, lifting slightly and twisting slightly. You can hardly notice it, but it is actually twisting slightly now. I'll go back inside the cab, hit the brakes, you can see the movement of the cab. Let's go into first. All right, now as I take off, although we are on a slight decline, so the torque won't be as great, but you should notice that the cab will twist slightly and lift slightly. There we go. It's lifting, and I can feel the torque through the wheel in the force feedback. I'll let go, you can see it sort of twisting slightly when it's taken off. So it's good, but it's not as much as I like. It's a little bit under what I would class as realistic. Now, if we go inside and do this, you can see that if you look in the mirrors, you can see the trailer misbehaving a little bit when I do this. Let's jump outside. You can see we've got a better physics movement on the truck and trailer here when I'm doing these drastic moves. But again, it's pretty close to what you'd get in real life, doing these dramatic movements. But what we'll do is we'll get out underneath this bridge, hit the brakes, and you can see the cab lean forward, then kick back. So it's not bad. I don't mind it at those settings. But what we'll do is now we'll go and pop the... actually, what we'll do is this. Because this is where you notice it a lot more, believe it or not, is when you're coming in and out of driveways, when you're going over curbs and stuff. So what we'll do here is we'll do this. Let me see where we're going to go to get out there. Okay, let's reverse a bit. That should be enough. Now if we go in the cab, and as we go out here, you should, although there's not much of a drop there. No, there's none in fact. Unless we drive up this curb, it might do it. Yeah, okay, see the movement in the cab there as we went over the curb? I know this seems very minor, but these types of, again, a little bit of a movement as we went over that line there. But these are the types of things you want to increase the immersion in the game. You want to feel the bumps and feel the movements, whoa, and the crashes. But like I say, you can see now that we've got cabin movement. And that adds to the realism because, you know, you feel as though you're actually in the truck. See how you're getting the... Oh, you're going to hit me again, aren't you? Thanks, mate. So as you can see there, it adds to the realism. So now what we'll do is we'll pop out and I'll put the two mods in that I am using. I couldn't use Z mods on this because he doesn't make a physics mod for ETS2. He only does it for ATS at the moment that I'm aware of. Which, again, if you have a look at that video for ATS physics, which, again, I'll leave a link to it up in the corner there, the right-hand corner, you'll see that I'm not using Z-mods anymore in ATS because, to me, it just doesn't do the job properly. Again, that's my personal opinion. For others, they might think it's great. Okay, so the mods that I'm using here are the two mods that I'm now using in ATS as well. And I find that they work really well here in ETS. And I just got to find it. We'll drop them down there. This one can go above that one. And combining these two just seems to work better than having one or the other. They just seem to work so much better when you combine the two. And I'll leave links to these two mods in the description below if you're interested in using them and seeing what they're like. Now I'm going to leave the settings as what I've got, the 60, 25, 30, 80, 85 and 50. I'm leaving them at those settings, and we'll see what it looks like now that we've got these physics mods installed. Okay, so now this is the truck with the physics mods installed and those settings that I said. And of course, once we've been here, I'll take it out on the highway and show you it there as well. But let's have a look what we get when we go across this curb. Yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit more exaggerated, but again, it's more like you'd find in real life if you go over a curb that large, because that's quite a high curb there. It doesn't look it, but it is. If I jump out, and I can show you, if you look at that, it's like a speed bump actually. So you get a lot more movement, or realistic movement I should say, than you do with the default settings or the settings that I've got it on. So what I'm saying is I think the two mods combined are better than the just the settings on their own. And yeah, like I say, what we'll do, bear with me, I'm just going to fly over to the freeway here. And we'll show you it here. Okay, so from outside, you'll probably notice the difference straight away. Watch the cab lift and twist. It's lifting and twisting slightly with the torque. Not that much more, but just subtle enough to give you a better experience, immersion. So I'll do it from inside so you can see. And again, I'm getting really good feedback through the steering wheel when I put my foot down. Again, I wouldn't normally take off flat to the board, but I'm doing this just to show you what it's like. As you can see there, I missed the gear. Let's try again. So that twist and lift, and I'm getting the twist in the steering wheel. It's very similar to just the settings, but it's just that little bit more intense. Again, I wouldn't drive like I'm driving now in real life or in the game. Just I'm doing this to show you. And as you can see, if I go too far here, this is going to roll. So I'm trying not to be over. But you can see the movement in the cab and the trailer from outside. Ooh, nearly went over. So, you know, it's like it would be in real life. If you hit the corner too fast, you would end up rolling. Look, nearly did there. Whoa! But again, I'm exaggerating my acceleration and movements here just to show you. So you can see, nearly, nearly. So much better, because that's what would happen if you were moving. In real life, there's no way you'd be turning sharp corners unless it was an emergency like this with a load on. You know, you want to be as smooth as possible in real life so that you're not upsetting your load and causing your trailer to flip. Or if you've got a load that could possibly be damaged, again, you would be turning as smoothly as you possibly could to prevent that from happening. But as you can see, with those two mods, I just think it's so much more like real life. And it gives, again, like I say, it creates more immersion in the game, makes it more realistic, more fun. That didn't work. Why didn't it trigger? Obviously it's closed. Right. Let's reverse back and get out of here. Is it closed? Yes, it is. Okay. My fault. I didn't look. I was just worried about showing you the physics. Let's get through here and just do one more thing to show you. We'll do the braking. Stop. Car braking. You see the nose dive and it bounce again like it would be in real life if I hit brakes that hard and that quick. And again, as you can see, lifts and twists. So yes, so my recommendation are those two mods. One is called the Real Physics mod, I think it's called, or Realistic Physics mod, and the other one is called ATS, ATS2 right. Physics, I think, and it's by Max 2054, and the other one's by Farkin right. Something, and I'm not swearing, that's how you pronounce his name, it's Farkn. But anyway, I'll leave links to them down in the description, so if you're interested, you can get to them there. And again, let's jump outside. I'll hit the brakes, and you'll see the inertia take over and cause the cab to bounce back. So to me, yes, as I've driven trucks in real life, the trucks that I've driven behave very similar to what they do in the game with these two mods. So hopefully that helped you out if you're deciding whether or not to use physics mods. You can judge for yourself whether or not you think the default settings are better, or the settings without mods, the 60, 25, 30, etc., or the ones with those settings and the mods. To me, it's a toss-up between those last two. The settings that I adjusted, or the settings that I adjusted plus the two mods. I'm going to stick with the two mods because I think they're just that little bit better, and everything else just seems to come together. But like I say, the Z mods one I couldn't test here because he doesn't do it, and if you want to check out what Z mods one looks like in ATS compared to these others, you could just hit that link. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did, please subscribe if you haven't already. Again, like I said, it's free, you might as well, helps me out. Hit the like button if you did like it. If not, give me a thumbs down and let me know what you didn't like, and I'll try to improve. And if anybody or anybody you know would benefit from having a look at this, please share the video with them. And hopefully you did enjoy it, and we'll catch up in the next one. Bye for now.